A mystery had lingered for years. Hikers mysteriously vanished in Utah desert. In the summer of 2011, 26-year-old Sarah Bennett and 28-year-old Andrew Miller set out from their home in Colorado for what was meant to be a simple weekend escape. They weren't adventurers in the extreme sense, so they carried no rock climbing ropes, no survivalist packs. They just a couple in love, eager to spend a few quiet days camping in Utah's stark and beautiful desert. They chose an isolated stretch of land dotted with the ruins of mid-century uranium mines. Their plan seemed safe: drive to the campsite, take some photos, enjoy the desert skies, and be home by Sunday evening. But Sarah and Andrew never came back. 8 years would pass before their fate was discovered, and when it was, the scene shocked even experienced investigators. Their bodies were found seated side by side in an abandoned mine, as if frozen in peaceful repose. But the reality was anything but peaceful. On Friday morning, Sarah sent a quick text to her sister: "We're leaving. Back Sunday night. Love you." It was the last time anyone would hear from her. The couple's car was packed with the basics like water, food, a tent, sleeping bags. They had no equipment for entering mines. They intended to explore the desert's surface, not its shadows. When Sunday night came and went without contact, alarm grew. By Monday, neither had shown up for work. Calls went unanswered. Texts remained unread. Family and friends alerted the Utah authorities, who began an immediate search. The desert terrain was unforgiving: deep canyons, endless dry riverbeds, and dirt roads that led nowhere. Teams searched on foot, on ATVs, and by helicopter, but not a single trace emerged. There was no camp, no fire pit, no footprints. It was as if they had simply disappeared. After a week, hope was dwindling when a helicopter pilot spotted something metallic glinting in the sun. It was their car, abandoned on a barely visible dirt track that stretched toward the uranium mines. The hazard lights blinked faintly, the battery nearly dead. Inside, nothing was out of place. The doors were unlocked. A folded paper map lay on the passenger seat. An empty water bottle sat in a cup holder. Andrew's phone, strangely, was still in the glove box with the battery half charged and no calls made, no messages sent. The most unsettling clue: the car's GPS was still on, its route ending at the entrance to a mine less than a mile away. The gas tank was completely empty. The theory seemed obvious: they had run out of fuel, switched on the hazards, and perhaps decided to walk toward the mine for shade or shelter. But why leave their supplies behind? And why head deeper into dangerous terrain? Searchers followed the GPS coordinates to a small, nondescript mine entrance, half buried in desert debris. The shaft was narrow but not blocked. No footprints, no equipment, no sign of recent activity. Calls into the darkness brought back only their own echoes. Old mines are notoriously deadly, filled with unstable rock, hidden shafts, and air laced with toxic gases. Without proof anyone was inside, authorities couldn't risk sending a team deep underground. They expanded the search outward, but nothing new turned up. Sarah and Andrew's tent, food, and sleeping bags were never located. With no fresh leads, the search was officially called off. The desert swallowed the story, leaving it to linger as a whispered mystery. In the fall of 2019, 2 men scavenging for scrap metal near the old uranium fields approached a familiar mine. But this time, the entrance was sealed with a thick, rusted metal sheet, welded in place and reinforced with beams and rocks. To them, the steel was worth money. They set to work with a cutting torch, slicing through the barrier. Hours later, as the final piece clanged to the ground, a rush of cold, stale air escaped from within, a breath from a place untouched for years. When their flashlights swept across the interior, they froze. At the far end of the chamber sat 2 human figures, backs against the stone wall, heads bowed. For a moment, the men thought they were mannequins. Then the truth sank in. They had found Sarah and Andrew. They called the police. When the police arrived, they sealed off the site, bringing in forensic teams. The bodies had been preserved by the dry, airless environment, clothes faded and worn, skin mummified. There were no backpacks, no water, no supplies, only the couple, seated as if quietly waiting. The autopsy told a grim story. Both had multiple fractures in their legs, consistent with a fall from significant height. Their upper bodies were uninjured, suggesting they survived the impact but were unable to move. Directly above them, investigators found a vertical shaft leading to the surface. On the ground above, it was covered with weathered boards and scattered debris, making it nearly invisible. The likely scenario: they had been walking across the surface, stepped onto the hidden shaft, and plunged into the darkness below. Injured and trapped, they had no way out. Then came the most horrifying revelation. The mine site entrance, the same one searchers had found open in 2011 and had been welded shut from the inside. Yet no welding equipment or tools were present. Detectives concluded that someone had found Sarah and Andrew alive after their fall. Instead of helping, this person had dragged heavy metal sheets to the entrance, welded it closed, and left them to die slowly in the dark. It was a deliberate, calculated, psycho act. Property records revealed that the land, including the mine, was leased to a solitary rancher in his 60s, known for chasing off trespassers. A search of his property uncovered keys to old mine gates and detailed hand-drawn maps of the tunnels, maps that included ventilation shafts even the authorities didn't know about. Confronted with the evidence, the man admitted finding the couple. He claimed they were trespassing and decided to secure the mine rather than help. He returned with welding equipment and sealed the entrance, leaving them inside. He insisted he didn't kill them, he just locked the door. But prosecutors charged him with intentional abandonment resulting in death. He was convicted and sentenced to 18 years in prison. Lesson learned is, Sarah and Andrew's story is not a campfire legend. It is a grim reminder of how quickly beauty can turn to horror in the world's remote places, and how the most dangerous threats are not always the landscape, but the people you may encounter out there. The mine remains, silent and empty, its welded scars still visible, a monument to a tragedy that could have been prevented, and to the chilling reality that some secrets the desert keeps are not supernatural at all, but human. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.